Hello and good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a super large audience today, which I'm really excited about. So I have to take the opportunity really quick to introduce URL Insurance Group for those of you that aren't currently working with us. We are a family owned and operated field marketing organization or insurance brokerage, IMO, GA. There's lots of terms for what we do. But basically, we are not only in Medicare, we're in life insurance, annuities, group health, the individual market. Our home base is here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We have been in business since 1986. We're not just in Pennsylvania, we do have nationwide contracts with all of those lines of business. And something special about us is that we do specialize in each of those markets. So we have a team designated to each of those markets for growth and education for our agent partners. We do a webinar like this actually on a weekly basis. They are recorded. Today's webinar is going to be recorded, and you can find the ones that we've done in the past on our website under our training library. So I definitely urge you to go out and take a look at what we've done, what we have that's upcoming, and register for those. I am Christy Wilbert. I'm the Senior Vice President of URL and run the Medicare side of URL. I've been here for about 10 years. And before that, I was an underwriter at an insurance carrier. And before that, I was an insurance agent just like you. In the P&C world, I was new to Medicare when I came to URL. So if I can learn it, so can you if you're new to the business. My main job here, like I said before, is to teach. It's to educate the agents on what they're doing, how to get up and running, and always looking for new ways to market. Because if you're not marketing successfully, you're not growing your business. So that's what actually got us here today. You know, I've been hearing a lot about social media marketing. And believe it or not, I'm not as young as I look. I'm 40 years old, so I'm not that great at social media, not like the 20-year-olds. I can't give myself that much credit. I'm not great with technology. So when I was out there, researching who is great at technology, who is good at Facebook, who is good at social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of those things, Shauna kept coming up for me. And, why is Facebook so important? You can reach such a wide net, right? But also target your net, which is super important. Who are you engaging with? What opportunities do you have to build your brand, your name, and make sure what you're doing is you have intent behind it, right? Because that's so important. What is your intent to be able to reach the right people? You get tracking and analytics with social media marketing, which makes it very cost effective because you can adjust how you need to adjust. You see in plain data what you're doing right and wrong. And Shauna, why she stuck out to me so much is she actually teaches you how to do this yourself. So yes, you can pay somebody to do this for you, but if you have the time to dedicate it to it yourself, she actually has a course that she walks you through how to do it step by step and generate your own leads off social media. I am doing it myself currently, and I will tell you, it's been quite the learning experience. We've had some trial and error with social media ads here at URL, and right away, she was telling me all the things that we were doing wrong, which is a great way to learn through your mistakes. But if you work with Shauna earlier, you'll learn those things before you make them yourselves. So I just thought it'd be a great opportunity, get her on, give her a little spiel about what she has as an opportunity for you. She is all about educating, which that's something that we have in common. She's very strict on her compliance around what we're saying out there and putting out there, and she does everything with integrity. She talks about that a lot, which is something URL does as well. So valuable. She's clearly a seasoned expert in this, in lead generation through paid social media advertising. And her course is forever changing. So she just updated it. She'll talk about that, but it's not you buy it once and it can age. She's always updating it with the new stuff that's coming out. So it's just so much fun to learn from her and I know you're going to enjoy today. She's helped countless insurance agents unlock a steady stream of targeted leads. So you're in for a special treat. She's actually going to be our keynote speaker at our Medicare Connections conference this year in Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's on September 3rd. So if you haven't had the opportunity to go out to our website and register, I highly recommend that you do that, see her in person. Quickly, Q&A. We will do that either throughout or at the end, whenever it seems right to mention your question, but there is a Q&A spot in your chat box. It's a bottom blue button. Go ahead and click that and open it up. There's a public chat for the group today. We do have a handout there for you on Facebook Leads. Go ahead and download that. So a lot of good stuff for you here today. I'm so excited. I won't take up any more time. This is Shauna Thorson from Social Waves Media.
Thank you so much, Christy. That was such a great introduction. I really appreciate it. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm on, right? Okay, perfect. So first of all, what we're going to dive in today, I'm really excited because I'm going to share with you the exact system and workflow to generate your own exclusive leads automatically. And I also want you to walk away from this today with a better understanding of Facebook ads. I want to demystify the platform. You're going to clearly understand why some campaigns are successful while others fail. I'm going to share with you some industry changes that impact you, the biggest ad mistake, and I'm also going to show you some examples of high converting ads and so much more. Now, I love what Christy was saying about if I can learn it, anyone can. I too am not as young as I look, as I you were talking about the milestone birthday you celebrated. Mine was in 2020. So I didn't get into this whole industry until I was about 35 years old. And I did not consider myself tech savvy. And in fact, I hated the marketing side of an online business. And then I slowly started to fall in love with it. And I honestly feel like the fact that I'm the math teacher that actually didn't like math, but now I can explain it clearly, and I actually have a great love for it. So I've been running paid social media ads since 2015. I got into the insurance industry space in 2022. I had a trainer from a IMO group come to me and have me do an ad audit on his Medicare and ACA ads. We made a few tweaks, and within that 1 hour, the changes that we made reduced his cost per lead by 75%. And that's what kind of introduced me into the insurance space and had me really start to specialize in getting to know your industry and really coming up with strategies that work for you guys. So let me share my screen because we're going to dive in to what we have today. All right, so when you guys talk about lead generation in this day and age, what are your options in 2025? Well, there's networking, of course. There's grassroots marketing. The problem with these is that they're very time intensive and the results are often unpredictable. We've got direct mail as an option. Of course, you've got online lead vendors. I don't need to talk about the cons of those because you all have already experienced them. You don't know what messaging the lead came in with. You don't often even know if they're exclusive to you, and you don't know if they're actually interested in insurance. Plus, they get expensive. Now, I want you to imagine talking to leads that are already interested in what you have to offer. That is the power behind social media lead generation. And when it comes to all of the different social media platforms out there, there is one that, in my experience, is the best one for you as an insurance agent to be investing your time and energy on. And that is Meta, AKA Facebook and Instagram. Now, in case you weren't aware, a few years ago, Meta they became one company. So Facebook and Instagram merged together. And there are 6 reasons why this is the best social media platform for you to initially start spending your time on. So you can build very professional looking business pages very easily. You get 2 platforms for one. So you can easily post on Instagram and it automatically shows up on Facebook. They have a very large and engaged audience. Now, would it surprise you if I told you that in the United States alone, there are over 12 million active users that are over the age of 65? So your audience is on this platform. There's over 200 million United States users that are on every single day, but your audience is on here. They've got direct messaging. If you're on YouTube or TikTok or some of these other platforms, they don't have the ability to you to kind of take the conversation in a private manner. They've got one of the best advanced targeting and algorithms if you do decide you want to get into paid ads. And my favorite part is you truly do not need to be tech savvy in order to have great results. Now, before we dive into the three keys of a successful campaign, there's two things that I want to kind of talk about to kind of give you a historical overview of meta ads that does directly affect you. So the first thing is a big industry disruptor for me was the iOS 14 update. And this happened in around 2020. And what it essentially did was it made it more difficult for the platform to know what users were doing when they were off the platform. So it kind of disrupted our entire approach to social media lead generation specifically. So the traditional strategy, and I'm talking, this is specifically for lead generation. You can run ads to e-commerce stores, to videos, you can run them to get traffic on your blog post and all of these other things, but we're focusing on lead generation. So the traditional strategy was very layered. You had to have a website. We had to create a pixel. We had to install it. We had to create custom conversions, and we had to have standard event codes on your thank you page. We had to A/B test landing pages, and so on. It was a very layered approach that was necessary to get optimal results. But after this update happened, a lot of changes took place. And we now have a much more streamlined and more simple way of getting the best results for lead generation. One, keep users on the platform so they can track what they're doing. That means you do not even need to have a website in order to have the best lead generation ads. And then they created a tool that is literally called a lead generation ad. So let me show you what that looks like from a user flow. So first, you set up the campaign in the back end of the account. The user is going to see the ad. They click on it. It opens a form right there on Facebook. They submit it and then are taken to a thank you page. So here's two examples. So this one on the left would be for ACA, and this one on the right is an example for Medicare. So a user is scrolling through and they see this, it speaks to them. They're going to click that learn more button. They then will see a little welcome of what's going to be expected next. They're going to see a form that you can collect information from. They're then going to see the one link that you need, which I can show you how to create without a website in under 2 minutes. It's just your privacy policy link. And then they're going to see the thank you page. So that is kind of the flow of a lead generation ad. So this is more of the streamlined approach that is actually going to get you the optimal results. It's a much different world than it used to be. Now, the other huge change that you need to know about before we dive into understanding campaigns is in January of 2025, just this year, insurance became categorized as a Meta special ad category. Now, what does that mean? So Meta has what's called special ad categories, and the purpose of these is to prevent discrimination in sensitive areas. And these first started coming out in 2019. Now, you might want to say, well, shouldn't you as an advertiser have complete control over every aspect of your campaign? In some cases, yes, but when it comes to employment, career opportunities, housing, even loan opportunities, or even political ads, there needs to be more regulation and it needs to be fair and inclusive advertising. Now, for whatever reason, Meta has categorized all lines of business of insurance. It doesn't matter if it's Medicare or what it is a special ad category. Do I think this makes sense? No, I don't think that it makes sense really, but I have learned that Facebook ads and just lead generation and marketing in general, it's like an ocean wave. You can either learn how to surf on it or you can just sit there and not make any changes, try to fight it, and it's just going to go over your head. So it's best for us just to rise to the occasion and adapt to these. And I'm here to tell you we absolutely will be able to. But first, just to kind of understand what this means for us, because we are a special ad category, there are still things that we have full control over as advertisers. We can control what state our ads are served in, so we can limit it only to the states that you are licensed in. You can target a specific city plus a 15-mile radius. We still have some interest targeting that we can utilize. It's just more limited. We can control where our ads are being served on the platform, which makes a big difference for lead generation. And then the most important is we get control over our ad messaging. We'll dive into that here in a little bit. Now, there are some things that we no longer have control over, okay? We cannot target a specific zip code. We cannot specify a gender. And then the biggest one that has scared most agents is the fact that we can't control the age. Special ad categories are broad targeting in order to prevent discrimination. Now, I understand why that sounds scary and like it's not going to work at a surface level, but there is good news. There are still strategic things that we can do to get our ads served to the right demographic. And that's going to make sense as we dive into and I start getting into what makes a great campaign. It's going to be super clear to you why we're still going to be able to get in front of the senior population if that's your goal. Or if you're trying to get for private health insurance or you're trying to target entrepreneurs or so on, you still will be able to. In a nutshell, we live in a world where the content finds the user. And if you don't believe me, then just spend a little bit of time of watching something that's totally out of your normal interest on a platform. I was using an example the other day. I was scrolling through and I started watching a few videos of jumping spiders. I've never been interested in spiders. That's totally random for me. I'm normally watching business videos. Now the algorithm's like, oh, she's watching these. These are jumping spiders. And now I'm getting nonstop jumping spiders. They're so onto it that even though I just kind of let my attention drift towards watching these weird little spiders that are actually kind of cute, to be honest with you. I've never liked spiders, but they're kind of cute. Then it's already caught on to that and been like jumping spiders. Shauna's looking at this. Let's give it to her. So just because you can't control something does not mean that the algorithm is not still working in the background and it, with its knowledge, is applying all of these different demographics. So it is still very possible for you to get a seasoned, optimized ad account that can generate leads that look like this. All right, so this is screenshots from the back end of the ads manager. In the center, I've got the cost per lead that each campaign was charged to generate. And most of these are from a more seasoned account because as the algorithm gets to know the account, it optimizes more and more. And then on the far right is the amount of ad spend that each campaign had. So whether your budget is larger or smaller, this can still work. It's just about knowing the 3 keys in order to actually unlock these results. So I always like to tell people that Facebook ads are a tool, just like a paintbrush. Okay. Anyone can pick up a paintbrush. They can slap some paint on a canvas and say, look, I just made a painting. Other people get a little bit more skilled and they can create something you can clearly see, look, this is an apple. While other people will master how to utilize that tool and they can create a masterpiece like this. Facebook ads are a tool that we all have access to, and the platform is very eager to make it easy for you to spend your money for them to serve your content. However, the way that you actually utilize the tool is going to make the biggest difference of the results that you get. And that are the 3 keys that we're going to dive into. All right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. And if it makes sense, I'll answer them as I go, or I can just kind of take a collection of them all at the very end. So let's dive into this. The first important thing is, if you're going to have killer lead generation results, is to have the back end of your account set up properly and to utilize the tools that are back there. So what I mean by that is when you create a business page, so this is a business Instagram page on the left and a business Facebook page on the right, and this is from a mobile app. When you create these business assets, you are very quickly going to be shown opportunities that you can click on, like this professional dashboard, promote. If I click on promote, it's going to start talking me through how to boost a post, which by the way, you do not want to boost a post, but that you can boost a post, which is essentially paying the platform to get your content out there. We're not going to be using that. Same thing if you're on a desktop version and you're inside of even the Meta Business Suite, you have your assets in there. You are going to see things like this that say create an ad. We're not going to be creating ads from there. Instead, we are going to be using something that is called the Meta Business Manager or the Meta Business Settings. And that is another back end that kind of takes us to the plumbing of the operation. I think of the others as like the front of the house, and this is like the plumbing of our house, where we're able to connect all of our different assets and we are able to turn on specific security settings. Then, when you click on this little hamburger icon, you are going to get access to more advanced and robust tools than you have just on the front end. And one of those big tools is the Ads Manager, which I'm about to show you what that looks like inside. But that's the very first thing. A lot of advertisers miss being able to set up the back end of their account properly. Number two is having a strategic campaign structure and messaging. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, when you actually get into the back end of the Ads Manager, and this is a screenshot from it, you're going to see three different tabs. You're going to see campaigns, ad sets, and ads. Now, I like to explain what these three different tabs are as a tree. So you can think of this is one big tree that we're building. So at the campaign level, that is the roots of the operation. So we will set certain optimizations at the campaign level that's going to affect the rest of the tree that we're building. Then the ad sets are actually the branches of the tree. And that's where we're going to control things like our audience targeting, where the ads are served, what our schedule is, and a few other specific optimizations. Then off of that tree branch, we've got the actual leaves or the ad creatives that individuals will be seeing. So if we build this tree out, for example, we could have one ad set that is going to Texas, one ad set that is going to Alabama, and then we could have very specific messaging that only those users are going to see. So it can say, Texas residents, if you're going to be turning 65 in the next 6 months, there's specific deadlines you need to know about. And now it feels really personal to the person that's in Texas. We also could set this up where one arm is final expense, one arm is Medicare, one arm is specific T65 ads. And then we can optimize it where we want to spend a certain amount for each line of business, or we just want the cheapest cost per lead. It all depends on how we structure our tree. And this brings me to the biggest ad mistake that I see new advertisers make. And that is only using one ad creative, only having one sole little leaf that's hanging on to your tree branch. And here's the thing, Meta greatly cares about the content that is served to its users. That sounds so sweet, warm, and fuzzy. But the real reason that they care is because when users are on the platform, that's how they make their money. So the content that keeps users on the platform is what they want to be serving. They want advertisers to get what they want, but more importantly, they want to serve relevant content to the users. When you only use one ad creative, it's going to drive up your costs. The reason for that is you're essentially putting Meta in a box and saying, I'll pay you, but you only have this one option. So they're like, we'll serve your one option, whether it's good or bad, but we're going to charge you accordingly. It also limits the optimizations. How can Facebook become better and better at testing things and getting to know your audience when they only have the one ad creative? And here's the thing, when you set up an ad, like I was just showing you, the kind of like the training wheels way from the back end, like you're boosting a post or you're utilizing just what you have on mobile, you're essentially setting it up where it's one tree branch, one ad set, and only one ad creative. So we don't want to do that. Instead, based on your budget, we want to set up in each ad set a specific number of ad creatives. So let me show you, when it comes down to an ad creative, there's also specific parts of an ad creative. So this is an example for T65, and this is actually for a free guide. And the three different major components of an ad, we've got in the center, we've got the image, or it could also be a video. At the bottom, we've got the headline. And at the top, we have the ad copy or the text. When we are creating ads and I am teaching agents to set up ads, I take it one extra little step further, and that is giving Meta some additional text options and maybe even some additional headline options with my one ad creative. So let me show you what that can do for you. So we've got these 3 different ad creatives, and this is examples for ACA. And you can see the one on the left, I have it specific for Texas. So I would have put that right in just a Texas ad set. So I've got these 3 ad creatives. Inside the ad, I'm going to give them an additional copy that they can switch out and test with. And now my 3 ads are actually multiple different combinations that Meta is able to test and help me collect data on what's working and actually optimize the ad performance to get me what I'm looking for. And this brings me to kind of some of the stuff that we talked about in the special ad category. And that is, we want to have very specific messaging, super duper specific messaging, because our ad is going to essentially do the targeting. Yes, in the special ad category, we have to select 18 to 65 plus. But when you have ad that has very specific messaging where it is allowing the user to self-identify or self-exclude, it not only gets you better results, but it also teaches the algorithm who to serve your ads to. You have something that says if you're turning 65 this year, there's 3 crucial deadlines you need to be aware of. Someone that's 20, you want them to be like, get this out of my newsfeed. I don't ever want to see this. And then whenever people are 63, 64, they start clicking around on it, Meta is going to pick that up. And I've seen that when we use a very specific messaging, we are able to skew our reach within a couple of weeks to where it is serving in the population that we are actually looking for. And you do have access to that data, so you can see if it's actually working or not. So that is what I mean by the optimal campaign structure, as well as the optimal messaging. And then the third and final key that I'm sharing with you today is utilizing data-driven testing and data-driven optimizations. It's understanding the key metrics and adjusting based on real performance insights and using different strategies to optimize the content that you're having served. So this here is, of course, the back end of the ads manager I was talking about. And we've got right here the different metrics or data points that we're able to look at to see how our campaign's performing. Now, here's the thing. When you actually look at all of the metrics that Meta has available to you, this is what you have access to. From one campaign or one ad set, it's still going. This is why it can be a little bit confusing because there are over 350 different metrics and terms that you have access to inside of the ads manager. But here's the thing, when it comes to you as an agent that is running a lead generation ad, there are 15 metrics that actually really mean something significant to you. So you're able to customize those columns. So you're only looking at those 15 metrics. And then when you really break it down, there are 4 key metrics that are going to tell you, are people clicking on this ad? Is it actually getting them over to the form that I want? What's my form conversion rate? Am I just being charged a whole bunch of money for this creative? Can I try to get my CPM down, and so on? And when you know those metrics, you're able to know what changes you need to make in order to continuously improve your account and eventually unlock results that look like this. Now, here's the thing. If you're thinking, I'm ready for this, I want to start generating leads and I want to be able to optimize my account, you have 3 different choices. One, you can learn on your own and stay up to date on Meta's algorithm changes. There is information out there. There are free YouTube videos. Meta does have a help center that you can go to and read the articles. The problem with this is being able to stay up to date of what's actually working in your industry and deciphering information that is specific to you as an agent. You could, of course, hire an ads manager. But the thing is, an ads manager typically is between $2,000 to $3,000 if they have any experience and are even somewhat skilled. So that's a large overhead to take on. When I'm telling you, and of course, you can hire someone that's a little bit lower. The problem with that is you, as the agent, need to know how to manage that person. If you bring on another company that is going to be managing ads for you, it is a huge mistake if you're not able to actually look at what's happening and at least provide somewhat of a management to be able to see what's happening in your account. And the reality is, lead generation ads for insurance agents do not have to be overly complicated. And the third option is you can spend a little bit of time and money to learn from someone. And that is why I created the course Insurance Click to Close. I have seen that insurance agents are smart enough and are more than capable of learning how to become fully self sufficient at generating their own leads. And I always find it funny. One of the things that shocked me about your industry when I first was in it was how often agents are told you are smart enough to learn this extremely complicated business that is always going through changes, but you can't learn how to do marketing. Just buy your leads or just hire someone that's going to outsource it overseas anyway and just have them use the same generic ad. It's just not true. You're more than capable. So inside the course Insurance Click to Close, let me walk you through what I teach. So I teach you how to set up the backend properly. I teach you how to structure a campaign, and then we start getting your content out there. So it's the same setup. The user is going to click on the ad, they're going to open the form, they're going to shut the form and see a thank you page. Now, while they're there on the platform, we have two different options. We can prompt them to schedule an appointment with us, or we can prompt them to give you a phone call right there on the platform. So here's two examples of that. This one on the left was for Medicare. It says, call me now, free consult. If they click on that, they're going to see your phone number and be able to reach out to you. This one on the right is a schedule free consult, and you can externally link to your scheduler so that way they could go ahead and get on your schedule. Now, once they submit that form, they instantly drop into what's called the Meta Lead Center. So the Meta Lead Center is a spot on Facebook where in under 2 minutes each day, you can go in and download all of the leads that you have just generated using ads. But in this course, you also get access to additional CRM trainings. So if you decide to utilize a CRM, you are able to integrate most CRMs, especially high level based CRMs like Agent CRM, Seven Figure CRM, and so on. They integrate seamlessly with Facebook where you can have it instantly drop it in. If you have something like Agency Block or some of these others, you just have to use a third-party tool, Zapier, and they will help you do that to have it drop automatically into your CRM and start a flow of texts and emails warming that new lead up. Now, if you enroll in Insurance Click to Close, you do get access to a couple of CRM trainings from other top agents. You get to see their CRM strategies in action, and you get to see what their customizable workflows are. And if you decide that you want to use their CRM, you can actually get their workflows automatically put inside of your CRM. But at the end of the day, you don't have to have a CRM, but I highly encourage it. It's something that's worth the investment for your business. So we won't go through all of these, but a few of my favorite parts of Insurance Click to Close is that I have insurance line of business specific strategies. This course would not be relevant to anyone that is in any other industry. I first walk you through how to set up your initial ad campaign, and then I have an advanced marketing module where we dive into specifics. Are you trying to run different ad creatives to different states? Here's how we do it. Is it one line of business to a couple of states? Do you have multiple lines of business to multiple states? Here's how you should set that up optimally. And you also will learn how to become fully self-sufficient. This course is, I had an FMO lead owner say, this is not the Ozempic of learning how to manage ads. This is the full-blown lifestyle change because you're going to learn how to read the metrics, understand what they mean, and make decisions accordingly. Whether you're doing that or you want to have a team member that's doing it, you're going to be fully self-sufficient at managing them. And right now, if you guys decide to enroll during this week, I have a couple of really exciting bonuses. One, I'm so excited that I'm going to be sharing with you. These are the 3 bonuses. And the first one that I'm so excited about is the Lead Conversion Toolkit. All right, so the Lead Conversion Toolkit, first of all, you get to learn how to set up a lead magnet funnel. So a lead magnet funnel is a free resource that is designed to attract leads. You should bring value to their life with that, and it also should set you up as an advisor from the beginning. Because as we move into this world of AI and information overload, the agents that are viewed as advisors are the ones that are going to be the long-standing. So here's two examples of the ads that could accompany. This is for T65 specifically, that you would be running an ad instead of a free consult, you're running it to a free guide that they would be able to download. Now, here's the really cool thing. The lead conversion toolkit comes with lead magnet templates. They're already done for you. T65, Medicare, life insurance that you can customize, whether you want to do term, whole, or IUL. You could even customize that for annuity if you're trying to educate individuals on what that actually means before setting up an appointment with them. You also have one for ACA, or that could be used for private health insurance that you're able to customize these guides. I then also give you 55 plus full ad copy that I have tested since us have becoming a special ad category. You get ad specific copy for the lead magnets for T65, Medicare, Life, and ACA. And you get Book Now, which would be more appropriate for AEP, OEP, or for final expense specifically. You also get access to form customization strategies and over 150 plus hooks that you can use for the first line of an ad or even a social media post. So this course, Insurance Click to Close, I teach you how to write copy that converts. I teach you how to spy on all of your competitors, whether you want to look at a specific page's ads or just a specific line of business in general. And then I give you the ad copy that you were able to customize and personalize it. All right, the second bonus that's exciting to share is how to get 5,000 plus likes with under $100 ad spend. So we live in a world where social proof means a lot. And when you're running ads, people are going to click over to your page to check it out. And when they see that you have a bit of a following, it gives a perception that you're someone to be trusted. And if they see a big fat zero, it can also give a different perception. So I teach you how to run a compliant campaign that will take you from zero. So this is literally the page that I was running it from. It was one of my testing pages, 0 followers. After I ran this campaign, I now have over 5,000 likes or follows on this. And this is the screenshot from the compliant ad that I ran. Now, I'm going to be fully honest with you. I'm always very honest. These are not going to be your future clients. We're going to spend your money to get you quality future clients. This is just a strategy that allows you to get, and these are real people, but these are not going to be in your target demographic. But for many agents, spending that $25, $50, or even the whole $100 is kind of a nice thing to kind of give their page a boost and just kind of give that social proof to begin with. And last but not least, you guys get access to Lead Generation Launchpad. This is an additional course that I created for those agents that say, I don't even know how to navigate it. I don't even know how to use Instagram. I don't even know how to create an Instagram page. This is for you. It's like the prequel to everything, where I give you like the best practices for your profile photos, naming your page, key security features, and just overall how to navigate the platform. So you get access to all 3 of these, which will set you off the path of being able to unlock results like this. All right, so very briefly, here's what just a few agents have had to say after moving through the course. So Rosalind says that it would have saved her $10,000 if she would have known about the course years ago. She said it's completely different from any other ads course. She said, I've never seen a course that truly breaks down everything step by step in such an easy to follow manner. And I'm happy that she also included that her costs were 70% less than they were before. Now, Edmund's testimony meant a lot to me because he had spent over $1 million in ad spend and worked with other marketers before enrolling in my course. He says, I don't put a lot of unnecessary fluff. You never have to wonder what to implement. He says, I'm honest, forthright, and have integrity, which I appreciate. He says, you can't go wrong by enrolling. David says that this has become the best way for me to operate my business profitably in the Medicare space. He says the best part for me is that once you have this system set up and start to get responses, you can just leave it alone. And Carissa points out you do not need any Facebook or Instagram ad experience for this course to work for you. She said that it allows her to build productive ads, and she's now able to do her own fishing. And the last one I'm going to share is Kevin, because he says, I've never seen this type of detailed information in a course before. I appreciate that he says, I did not expect for this course to last long Shauna keeps the course up to date, and it's something I can always go back to. This is true. This course, I used to look around that I never have a Facebook ads course because I knew to have a good one, it would be a living entity, the main focus of what life would be. And this course has become that. I love it. It is something you truly have live. I just made a huge update, obviously, after the Meta Special Ad category. I just added something to the course a few days ago. And today, after this recording, I have a video that I'm going to be adding to the course. So my students that have enrolled in 2022, they get the emails. Hey, it's updated. Here's what's happening in Facebook because it's lifetime access. All right, so what's the investment? So I've got the course value, I've got the bonuses value. So I have the total value of this course at over $15,000 with the information and resources inside. You might be like, okay, that's crazy. But the reality is, if you're going to work with someone, before I even got into this in 2021, you would be spending $2,500 a month to work with me at minimum. Now we're only taking clients that are at a much larger ad spend, but you're looking at a $30,000 overhead a year. The price of this course is $1,497. So that's less than 1 month of full ad management. But here's the deal right now, and because you're at this webinar, we are offering you a $500 voucher when you enroll, which means you can lock in lifetime access for only $997. And here's the deal, it is lifetime access, and this $500 voucher is going to expire this Friday, 2/28 at 11:59 p.m. Now, there is something I want to make you aware of. This course investment price has been $1497 since 2022, the end of 22. And I have added so many additional resources to this course, and it is something that is always staying alive, that after this, we are going to be increasing the price to $1,997. Now, will I sometimes maybe offer a $500 voucher off of that price? I probably will. I like to do that a few times a year to give agents an opportunity to lock in. But this will be the absolute last opportunity this Friday to enroll at the $997 price. And if you're thinking, well, that's great, but what if I want help? What if I want to ask you a question? This course is set up for you to be fully self-sufficient. But if you want hands-on support, the most cost-effective way to get that is to join my membership, the Inner Circle. So the Inner Circle gives you access to hands-on support for myself and my team. We have a private Facebook group where you're able to ask a question. I have 3 ads coaches and I have 2 other team members that monitor that group along with myself. I literally on Saturday just answered an agent's question. I recorded him a video to help him troubleshoot something because we respond to every single question. We also have at least 3 live monthly coaching meetings where you can pop in, you can ask a question. We'll often break up into breakout rooms. We'll normally have at least a couple of ads coaches in those meetings. And it's your access to real human support when you need it. You also get access to some additional trainings that I sell separately. It's called the Vault Collective, the Inner Circle members get. So this membership is $118 a month. But when you enroll during this special promotion, as soon as you enroll, you're going to get a one-time invite if you want to take action then and there. And it's only $57 a month. And you get access to those live meetings and also the Facebook group. All right, so let me show you what you are going to do. Let me grab this link because I'm going to pop it over here into the chat. And then, oh, good, I see some questions. We're definitely going to answer those. So when you click on this link, you're going to be taken to the information page. There's a lot of information on this page, so feel free to scroll through. You are going to also see a countdown timer. And this timer is going to tell you exactly when that price is going to go from $997 to $1,997. Scroll through, read what other agents have to say, look at results, see all the details. And if you decide I'm the right mentor for you, you're going to click on the Enroll Now button. It will take you to a secure checkout page where you will see your $500 voucher is automatically applied. And then you will be able to unlock instant access and get started. And that is what we teach inside of Insurance Click to Close. So I am super excited to answer any questions that you guys have. And yeah, let's dive in. Doesn't just have to be about the course. Let me stop sharing my screen so I can see what you guys have.
I can read them to you if you want me to.
Sure, let's do that. That's great.
Okay, so John asks, are they all CMS compliant? I'm assuming the ads.
Yes. So I always say we don't F with CMS, the IRS, or Meta. Okay. We don't want to make any of them angry because we're playing on their playground essentially. So, one thing that a lot of agents and newer advertisers think that they're going to do with an ad is make it very addy. Like, sign up for Medicare Advantage. Here's all the things you get. Obviously, you can't talk about that when it comes to Medicare, but you don't need to talk about those things in order to get leads. We're talking about the pain points. Is Medicare overwhelming? There are certain dates that you need to know about. We will guide you the entire way. We'll answer your questions. So you're meeting people there. And then once you get them in your system, you're able to market to them obviously however you would like. So yes, the ads, while you still are responsible to make sure you're compliant, and you need to probably, if you feel uncomfortable, ask your CMS officer or ask your FMO to take a look at them for you. But all of these are created with that in mind. And the privacy policy that I give to you, I actually had a trainer at an IMO speak to a CMS, his CMS person, and we have a disclaimer in our privacy policy for Medicare specifically that basically says you have the right to contact them. You can text them, you can email them, or you can have someone call them. Obviously, then you need to be compliant after that. You need to get your scope in place. You need to have them call you, whatever those next steps are. But you can reach out to them to at least say, hey, let's schedule a time to talk about Medicare or have one of your people. So, yes, we definitely have that in mind for sure.
Awesome. So Lori asks, if you have multiple state licenses, do you recommend doing multiple ads in these states, or do you recommend doing one state at a time?
Good question, Lori. So I would say in a newer account, the larger that your target audience can be, the better. So whether you decide to set it up, if you want specific ad creatives for each state, you can set it up where, let's say you're running to these 4 states, but we put the budget at this level, which means you're going to get the cheapest cost per lead. Or you could actually control how much you're spending in each state. But I would say start off with targeting all the states that you are licensed in so we can get the larger audience.
All right, thank you. And then we have a question from Joe. Will a Facebook ad campaign automatically post to Instagram as well?
If you select the placement. So at the ad set level, we have access to all of the different spots that Facebook can serve your ad. So on Instagram, I would recommend, now I do not recommend having your lead generation ad go on top of a reel. There's a sneaky little placement where when people are watching a reel, your ad comes up right here. It's a tiny thing that will say, and that is great for e-commerce and for some brand awareness, but it's not the best thing for clicking on lead generation. You also don't want your ads to be served. It's a third-party apps or sites that Meta has a partnership with to be able to advertise on. We don't want lead generation ads there. But yes, I would recommend we do check on Instagram. We check on Instagram stories and so on.
Great. And you have a shout out from Kayla. She said you do a great job keeping the information up to date.
Thank you, Kayla.
Elizabeth asks, I have 0 social media presence. Will this negatively impact my timeline for lead generation?
So here's how you have to look at it. It's not going to negatively impact your lead generation, but the more that Facebook gets to know your account, the more it's going to be able to get in front of the right user. So in Lead Generation Launchpad, the prequel, I tell you 8 essential social media posts that you should have on your page. This isn't because it's going to instantly get you people. It's more so the bot has something to crawl essentially and continue to collect information on you. We call it like we used to call it like season the pixel when it was actually more on the website. Now it's more like a seasoned account. When your ads are being served, the algorithm is trying to figure out, it's got, millions of people. And it's like, here's this content. Let me just start trying to get it out there and see which people are going to get this person what they're looking for, and then be able to hone in. But organically posting will help you. So I would push you post once or twice a week. That's realistic. You can do that. If anything, it's just for Meta's bot to have something to see what's going on.
Okay, and then Jen, she says, great information. I'm looking forward to learning more. Thanks, Shauna. Also, where do I find information on URL? So our website is urlinsgroup.com. Or you can email me. I'm Christy W at urlinsgroup.com. Can we change a different type of insurance monthly, such as under 65 one month, life insurance the next month, and back to under 65 the third month?
Yes, you absolutely can. You could also have all of those running at one time. You could make the decision of if you wanted to, let's say you're running to run Life and T65, you could make the decision to set it up where you're like, I just want the cheapest lead. I don't care which arm it comes from. Or you could say, I want to spend $20 a day for T65 and $10 a day for Life. Which, by the way, I'd say the average ad spend to start with is $10 to $50 a day when you first are getting started, but you absolutely can. You're going to be relaunching a brand new campaign each for each line of business typically.
Perfect. And you did have a question about what people should start out with financially. So you answered that. Thank you. Does this work for final expense and disability insurance?
So I'm not sure for disability insurance, you would probably have to be careful of the way that you are wording it. Like for some of the clients I've worked with that do like long-term care or Medicaid planning, you want to be careful about wording it, but like you want to tell a story. Here's a story. Like one of the best ads that I have performing right now with someone is they tell a story about like it only took one night and everything changed. And she tells a story of her brother. One person does from the group, another person tells a story of their father. They're in this situation. If you're in this same situation, we can help you. So you definitely can for final expense. I have ad copy templates for that. But for the disability insurance, you would just want to make sure that you're wording it in a way that's going to be compliant within Meta, but you definitely can. It's the pain point, not so much the thing, is what you have to focus on.
So Debbie asks, can an agency sign up for Insurance Click to Close so that everyone in the agency can learn?
Great question, Debbie. So technically, only one person will be able to log in, but well, that's not entirely true. I am okay if you enroll and you're like, here's a VA, I want to learn this. They can absolutely jump in to the course and learn it. I do have agents that do that all the time, or that then teach it to their agency. They share it with them of what's actually happening inside. And if you join the membership, only one Facebook page can come into that membership, but you can set it up where it is your business page, and then anyone you give access to, we teach you how to give proper access. If someone has access to your Facebook page, then they can go into the group and ask questions. They can go to the meetings and all of that, acting as your page. So that way multiple people can have access.
And Elizabeth asks, how long does it take on average to complete the course?
Great question, Elizabeth. So if you wanted to, and if you don't see your question being answered right now on the information page that we just shared, it is all on there. Lots of detailed questions. On average, I have seen agents get ads up within 48 hours. You absolutely can do that. I would say give yourself a week, maybe a week and a half to absorb the information. Halfway through the course, there's 10 modules, and module 5, you're going to be clicking publish to your ad. You should be able to do that within a week, week and a half. But then I would say spend the extra little bit of time to actually learn how to read the metrics, how to test things, how to make optimizations, and so on. So I would say 2 weeks is a good time period to do that. But you absolutely, I have agents that are like, I get it up in 48 hours because they're just really motivated.
I will tell you that I was pleasantly surprised when I purchased it myself and opened it up, and it was so detailed as it is. In my eyes, it's not something I could do in 48 hours. I was so impressed with the amount of detail that she goes in through every single step of the way. She really is teaching you how to do it yourself. So I would say take the time, learn it. I mean, obviously you can go back and watch things again, but it's not something that you'd want to just breeze through. She does talk a lot about get it up before it's perfect. He says that a bunch of times. You don't have to go with perfection right away. So I don't want to contradict what you're saying in there, but It's definitely, I mean, she mentions all the things that are involved in the course. This is not like a thing that you buy and you'll be dissatisfied with the amount of things that you're obtaining with your purchase. You are going to be highly impressed with everything that you have out there for you. Stephanie asks, what is your thoughts on the Medicare 101 seminars ad marketing on Facebook?
Okay, so the Medicare 101 seminars. So this is something that you absolutely can run ads to. I'm going to tell you, anytime it takes up time and more effort from someone, your cost per lead is going to go up. Could you argue that it might be a higher quality of lead? Yeah, it potentially could be. I have found that the guide, and not even like, I don't know if you guys remember seeing, like, I click on ads all the time, but in 2015, 2016, the ebook was like the thing. Ebooks, no one wants an ebook now. That's like way too long. They want something that's easy to interact with you. So the guide is really getting people to interact with you. Then you get them in your system, and then you could say, let's take this to next level. And I want to invite you to this seminar. And then you be inviting your list. So you get them on your list for as cheap as possible, and then you bring them. But yes, it's a completed registration ad that you would be running. It's a little bit more of a tech setup because you would have to install the pixel on the landing page, and then a optimized standard event code on the thank you page. It is something that if you want to do this when you're in the group, we have access to. My ads coaches take private coaching clients, and they'll help you set that up. If you're in the membership and you come into one of our live meetings, sometimes we have 4 agents in the meeting, sometimes we have 100 agents. So we have it a lot of times where you end up in just another room with an ads coach and like 1 or 2 other agents, and then they can actually help you utilize that stuff. So you can, but it's going to be a little bit more of a cost per lead than something that's really easy for someone to interact with.
So it seems like David would be interested in getting critiques from you and showing his ads and such. Can you explain what kind of membership he would want if that's the case?
Yes, David. So if you enroll in the inner circle, which you get to lock in, it's only $57 a month. And as I said, I have 3 ads coaches. One's been with me since 22, one's been with me since 23. The other one started at the beginning of 24. They all have 5+ years ad experience before ever working with me. So they, in combination with me, you can go in that Facebook group and you can say, hey, review my ad copy and give me critiques. And you'll put it there. We'll go in, we'll be like, here's what I would change, here's what I would do. At the end of the day, it's all just a hypothesis until you get some data. Then we're going to run the ads. Then we're going to be like, let's look at this and see if we can make changes and keep improving it and see what's actually working. But that is how you would get actual critiques on that. Or you could set up a private ads coaching meeting if you wanted to. But the most cost-effective way is that membership.
Right. And that is a month to month. Just confirming for Elizabeth. And she also asks, will this course advise me on how to get my current clients aware of my online presence, or does that happen naturally with the algorithm?
Oh, that is a really good question. So we can set your ads up where you get, I actually have, if you come into the inner circle, I have something that's called the omnipresent strategy where you spend between $7 to $14 a day. And that's for you to show up in people's news feeds like 1 to 2 times a day. I say it's like a whiff of someone's perfume or cologne. Like you're just like, oh, I just keep seeing this person. I just keep like sensing them. You absolutely can. You also can upload your customer list and we can run ads just to those people. So maybe during AEP, you would want to do that. Like it's coming up and you're only running it to those people. What I don't want you to do is not take advantage of email marketing. You have them on your list. You spent the money to get them there. You need to be emailing them. I spend most of my Facebook ad money. It's the top of my funnel. Like it's people that haven't gotten to know me and worked with me. If I'm trying to present something to the people I already work with, I'm going to email them because now it's free, or I pay for it for my CRM. So I would say don't underestimate the power of doing that. I want you to save money where you can, but it might make sense to just like, put a sprinkle out there, especially when we get close to Q4.
Thank you, Shauna. We do have more questions out there, but we're getting close to our hour mark. So if you have outstanding questions for Shauna, you can reach out to me or her too, and We do have her links there now in the handout section. So when this is recorded, you'll still be able to find them there instead of the chat box. And I do want to urge you, if you are working with URL or not, I think this is a great investment, especially with her $500 discount that she's offering for this week. Take advantage of that. It was a $997. That's 1.5 Medicare sales. I mean, you make that back so quickly, and this is going to help you for years and years to come to generate leads. So make that investment with yourself and for your business. It'll be well worth it. And also remember that she's going to be at our Medicare Connections conference this year, so you'll get an opportunity to speak with Shauna live there. So make sure to register. And thank you so much, Shauna, for being here today. That was more than wonderful of a presentation. I think everybody got so much out of it. So useful, so valuable. Couldn't ask for more.
Perfect. If you guys can't see, they're saying there's no link under handouts. It looks like it's at the very top, insurance click to close. In the chat, you can copy what I have right there and paste it on the side. And if you have questions, my team's email is on that page. And that page is loaded with information. It's so extremely long because I want you to feel confident that you're making the right decision. So make sure you check that out, reach out if you need to. And then, hopefully I will see you guys at the conference too, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you again, Shauna.
Bye. Thanks for having me.